the channel. Today we are going to discuss what school was like during the Victorian era. Era means a period of time. The Victorian era was between the years 1837 to 1901. Queen Victoria was the Queen of the UK during this time. It ended 119 years ago. School was very different than it is today. During most of Victoria's time as Queen, school was not free. Up until 1891, children's families had to pay for them to go to school. But Victoria's time as Queen did help make some schools a better place. Up until 1891, children's families had to pay for them to go to school. But Queen Victoria's time as Queen did help make school a better place. The Victorians, as people were called at this time, were the first people to make sure all children went to school and to make sure that schools were teaching them the right things. However, like I mentioned before, in the early years of the Victorian era, most children never went to school. They had to work and get money for their families. Richer children were taught at home, and boys usually, when they were about 10, were sent away to school. Very few girls went away for school. They were still taught at home. Before they were old enough to work, or during their free time, poorer children went to free charity schools or went to school on a Sunday, which were run by churches. However, soon the Victorians decided that all people should learn to read and write. The Church in England decided to build schools. Children were taught basic writing, reading, arithmetic, which is like maths, and religion. It wasn't until 1880 that children were made to go to school. By then, it was the law that you had to go. They had to go to school until they were at least 10. In 1891, which was 11 years later, school was made free, and by that time you had to go until you were 12. Schools were very different than they are today. There could be up to between 70 to 80 pupils in one class, and the teachers were very strict. They were taught through copying things down and chanting. To become a teacher, some boys and girls over the age of 13 could help the teacher. After 5 years of helping, they could become a teacher themselves. Like I mentioned before, they learned reading, writing, arithmetic, and religion. They also did exercises by the side of their desks. The pupils' lessons started at 9. Lunch was at 12. They often went home for lunch and then came back for school in the afternoon at about 2 until 5. They usually wrote on slates. After checking their work, the children could simply wipe it away. It was an improvement in the lives of children during the Victorian era, but their lives were still hard, with strict teachers, possibility of losing money, and they also didn't have as much time to help around the home. But school was still an improvement for many children. For our daily task, let's try and write like a Victorian school pupil. Try and find a piece of paper. Many students used to write the same thing over and over. On the lines on your paper, try and write your name as much as you can on each line. After you finish filling the page up with your name, think about these questions. How might it have felt to learn like this every single day? How do you think pupils felt? Get an adult to let me know how you get on in the comments. Thank you so much for watching this video. I hope it was helpful to think about how schools in the UK have changed. My Twitter and personal tutoring links are down below. Thanks again, and remember to take some time for yourself in this crazy world. Bye for now.